of the future. What the fuck?
I want to talk to the people listening. If you listening, if you clicked on this video, you are a part of the nation. You are a part of the movement. And we thank you for watching and listening this whole time, being a part of this. This is only possible because y'all contribute to the conversations. Y'all want to hear this dumbass talk about stuff. Y'all want to hear us talk about stuff.
Yes.
We happy to oblige.
Yes.
So, as you can see, we're here with show vet Jada. She's definitely going to be making more of an appearance.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about today EBT. She didn't know what we was talking about until like 20 minutes before we walked in. So this is something that I knew I wanted to talk about. But and it's only fitting that it's the first topic of 2023.
Like EBT, I'm like, dude, really?
Yeah, but look, they don't even call that EBT no more.
No.
Right? So
what they call it?
What was the first name for it? I know it's food stamps.
Yeah.
Where it was an actual stamp, similar to like stamps that you would put on an envelope. So you would get like a book of those.
Yes.
And then you would take that book to the stores, and then you would cash that in. Yeah, you would rip it out almost like a WIC check, almost,
God,
right?
So
like
embarrassing.
Similar to like the WIC thing, almost.
Yes.
That was probably like the last public assistant program to not go like electronic card, which was the WIC program.
Mm-hmm.
They were still giving out booklets up until like 6-7 years ago.
Word. Had a little card and shit, a little envelope with the plastic.
Yeah, this is what you could get. This is what you can't.
Yes. God.
No. Let me preface this conversation by saying this. I'm not at all like saying these programs aren't necessary. I'm not trying to downplay the people that's on these public assistance
because I am one of them.
And everyone in my family almost like
I am one of them.
Reap the benefits my entire life of being on certain public assistance programs. Let me not
just keeping it real though.
Let me not like preface that by saying it.
We're just keeping it real. It's cool. Again, we're not here to downgrade anyone, to make anyone feel any less of a person, to make anyone feel like they should feel some type of way because they are on these programs or in these programs for that matter. You can be a working person and still need that assistance. Everyone needs help. Okay? Because I know I do. But go ahead.
So, all right. So, EBT, right? As we familiar with it.
Yes.
Now it's called SNAP. Yeah.
Snap it up.
The Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program.
Yes.
So, as the name would entitle, it's meant to be put in place for near or at poverty level individuals and families to help them make sure that they get the proper nutrients out the food. Not only be able to feed themselves, but have access and the means to eat correctly, throughout the entire year.
Exactly.
Not only in spurts, when they can afford it. So,
right. That is true.
Now, the reason why this has so much traction is because it do line the pockets of politicians and people on that level that keep the cogs in the machine moving, right? Let's not get it misunderstood. Okay. It's not like Social Security, in which they're trying to eradicate the program in its entirety. By the time we retire at 65, there will be no Social Security.
It's not. And that definitely has come to terms.
Like right now, the politicians and stuff, they want to push the age. They keep pushing the age. 62 to 64, 65, 68. The time we 60, whatever, it's going to be our year. It's going to bygone era where there's no Social Security. That's why I always stress people, in all fields, but particularly like food service, where, like, statistically speaking, you're only making, at the top end, $50,000 a year. Less than that, $45,000. Where the average U.S. worker makes around $50,000 a year. Yeah. $51,000, $52,000
I was going to say like 50.
Yeah. Now, so you're already making less than them. Yeah. Realistically, when you retire, how much are you going to have, in assets to make it through retirement? What age do you want to retire?
I want to retire at 55. No.
So 55, right? Now,
yes.
Let's say after you retire, you want to live for another 30 years.
Of course.
Right?
Of course.
So you want to live 30 years after 55 without having to work.
Yes.
So you need a substantial amount of money
Yeah.
in order to not have to worry financially.
But not working
when
in
you
this
retire.
world now. You can't do it now in
Right.
this world.
And we've already established that Social Security is done
Yes.
and out the window by the time we're 70,
Yes.
whatever. So what options do you have?
Start your own business.
Start your own business, start saving,
yes.
start planning for your retirement now.
Exactly.
And this is why the public assistance programs play such a crucial role. Not only for the people that's combating poverty in the moment, but also trying to establish a financial security to build upon to move forward. So, yes, statistically speaking, 45% of everyone who works in food service and hospitality are near or at the federal poverty limit. Meaning that you could work 45, 55 hours a week and still struggle to pay your bills.
The other day I was at work, and I'm a supervisor at a store. No names, but and this lady came up to the register, had a couple of items. It's a clothing store, but we sell, food items in the store. This lady slapped her EBT card up on the counter like, boom, I want to pay for my food on this. So we're looking like, what? You can't use EBT in this store. This is not a food store. She's like, well, I went to another store in this area and they used it and I used my EBT card and I want to use it here. And I'm like, yeah, okay. But I realized it too though. And Rainbows nowadays, they allow you to use your EBT card, but cash. She was trying to use food stamps. Not cash, her food stamps in a clothing store where they sold like little items of food. I'm like, so we went on the computer. They have the selection, but you can't use it. But my whole thing is, why do you have it up there then? If we can't use the fucking selection, like, bro. I'm like, but she was so confident that she can use this card. Like, it wasn't like, some people like really shy about how they want to, because I'm definitely shy about how I want to take my EBT card out. So I be, be like, but what was your ID? See? All right. So I'll put it back in my pocket. I'm a working woman, but at the end of the day, I got a little help. But she was on the counter, ready to purchase her items, but then she couldn't. I felt really, really bad, but bro, you cannot come.
See, this is the reason why I wanted to talk about this, because we have people that's working 45, 50 hours a week, 60 hours a week. Yeah. How is it that you qualify for food stamps?
I don't know more.
But what I mean is, it's not secluded. It's not secluded to you.
No, but in general,
yeah, how do you have full-time workers working 45, 50 hours a week?
Yo, we trying to blow up people's spots now,
and they're qualifying for public assistance.
You don't be blowing up people's
there's
spots.
a particularly in a job field which requires you to be on your feet all day. You're working in a high risk, high intense. You're feeding a lot of people, and then you gotta remain safe physically, and then also stay sanitary for the food. And that person is working 6 days a week, 60 hours a week, and still qualifies for public assistance. There's something wrong with that.
It is.
That person should be making enough money to feed themselves, bare minimum. And I pride people on telling people I feed people for a living. I don't deny people anything when it comes to food.
Yeah.
Now, that same person has a difficulty feeding themselves. Putting food on their plate for their kids. They have food insecurity. Is this the answer? Like, what's the answer to this? Now, we know that this program is gonna go dwindle down to the point where it's just not a thing anymore.
That's where it's about to be at, and that's pretty much where it's headed, because again, like you said, there are people out here who are still getting help with the qualifications of being able to work a full-time job, as to where there are people out here who cannot work a full-time job and who still can't get qualified for food stamps. So, in all, excuse me, pardon me, a lot of it is being either investigated or a lot of it is going to be shut down to a lot of the public. Now, on me, I can speak on my behalf, working as a full-time single parent and still trying to get help, I feel like that should be more where SNAP should be leaning towards for as helping people. Now, they do. Don't get me wrong, but because I work 40 hours, I should be able to qualify for me and my child, plus to pay the rent, plus pay the internet, plus pay the car. That's not their responsibility. That's not their problem. But help. But you're out here giving this person who's a cop money every month, getting them $400, $500 every month. How is that possible? And they're a cop. They should make enough, and they do make enough. As to where I'm only working as a little security guard or a cashier in a little department store, why is it that we still can't qualify? So it's a give and take. A lot of these programs, I don't feel like they're taking enough time to look into people or do that an investigation, as they call it, when they do give out this program and these assistance to people. I don't think it's fair.
Now, do you feel like it does? You feel like it does more harm than good?
For certain people, yes. I feel like they're giving them a blanket, as to where some people are still struggling, and it's not fair. So
how do you go by, like, allocating the resources, making sure it goes to the proper people and doesn't get jammed up?
Now that's in itself, that has to be done within the government, I feel like, because there's not enough, and then I feel like there's not enough people speaking up.
Well, okay, so the government is saying, I'm providing
whatever.
Let's say, for the sake of this conversation, I'm just pulling this number out of thin air. Let's say I'm providing $1.5 billion to the SNAP program. That's the government saying, I'm stepping up.
Okay. So now it's up to the people.
Up to the individual department heads.
The people.
In the states.
And the people.
Right? So what they'll do is they'll say, hey, look, you have a population of X amount in Utah that live in the state in general. And this is the amount of people that qualify for the SNAP program financially. These are the amount of people that applied for the program. Based on these analytics, we're going to give you this percentage of our federal budget for this program that exists. And that allows them to give each state a different amount of money. Because there's no reason why Nebraska should get the same amount of money as a state like New Jersey.
Definitely not. Definitely not. Definitely not. You're absolutely right.
So that's how they go about breaking down it. Now, when it gets down to specifically dividing it up, that falls on the city levels, the state levels, then the city. Now, when it gets to the city people, how do you make sure you say, okay, this person has 4 kids, obviously a high risk, priority account, and that goes to the top. It's interesting because you bring up to the fact of, like, professions, and does certain professions get prioritized? Like, if you are, let's say, a veteran of the U.S. government, should you hold priority in receiving public assistance?
Yeah.
We know they don't.
I know.
We know, it's a tragedy the way we treat our veterans.
Oh, it's horrible. It's definitely horrible. That's like a whole nother episode in itself because, yeah. But, I think they should. It should be veterans, then it should be elderly people, then it should be single parents, single working parents, even though they make 40 hours. It's not every week that I work 40 hours or a person works 40 hours nowadays. So you give them, that's why I guess they recertify it, but every 6 months, every 3 months. Like, no, at the end of the day, I feel like a person should be able to hold at least for a year. Give them longer time than 6 months and then to recertify because things happen. So now I lost my job or I did get more hours. And you're going to still take my money from me because I made more hours. That might just be for that moment that they had a couple of extra hours to give us around the daggone clock. So now you're going to take my hours because I had an extra 6 hours, extra 40 hours this month. And then here come 2 months later, I'm back to down 30 hours. So now I got to go reapply again or give you more information. It just, I feel like they're prioritizing it totally just weird for me. Like, and the system itself. Like, in a way, I'm kind of glad that I'm not, because the money that I am making as a working person is still giving back to the people who aren't working as far as public assistance. Our tax money is their money, is my money. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm still getting it back regardless. But
now I'm going to play devil's advocate.
Oh,
right?
I don't like that.
Let's get good. I seen Brenda at the fish market. She wasn't buying fish. She wasn't buying fish. Matter of fact, I didn't see her walk out with any fish. Like, what did she go to the fish market for? Now look. Now, we all aware.
We know what Brenda
we're in there for spots, right? That, like, do illegal, and we're not at all condoning these places, right?
No.
At all. This is not what this is for.
No.
That's wrong.
No.
Now, we know the places that you take in your EBT and they're transferred for cash, you know, for a certain percentage, they're on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking before, you know, we started recording, and we were talking about desperation.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
And who is anyone to judge anyone else's situation?
Exactly.
So I have difficulty, you know, speaking badly on a person that would, like, cash in their food stamps for money. Like, you would say to yourself, what could be more important than food? Like, you'd be like, yo, that's food stamps for food. Like, yo, like.
But what if they wanted food, but they can't get it with the food stamps? Some people have to cash them in to use it for hot food.
Get different food. Take the cold food, heat the cold food. like, look, there's no okay. Look, when it comes to no, you can't convince me. You are not gonna convince me.
You can, but you can, because I've done it. I have actually, like, I wanted Chinese food. I can't get Chinese food with EBT.
You gotta get over that. You gotta get over that. That's
why you figure if my kid went to McDonald's, I gotta push my kids McDonald's to the side because of my EBT.
Now let me ask you.
I'm gonna cash in my food stamps to get my kid to get McDonald's.
Now that's fraud, right? like yo. How the whole light go black? How everything go black now? Like,
lights off. But no. Oh my God. We do not condone this. Do you understand? It's a public announcement. We do not condone anyone to cash in their food stamps for hot food. Okay? Seriously.
But look, then people would look at this and say, hey, this is the reason why these programs are corrupt. Mm-hmm. You know, from the higher ups, which I was mentioning on earlier, to the ground level, to the people way at the bottom. It's just corrupt. We need to gut the whole program and stuff. Like, just don't restart. Like,
reset.
No, but
seriously,
when I think on it, I say, look, your heart was in the right place. You're providing fund. You're making sure people don't go hungry, and that people people actively can eat as a direct effect of this program.
Yes.
You know, there are very few things that you can have, like, a tangible result,
mm-hmm.
you know, after blowing a whole bunch of smoke off of somebody's ass. Saying, oh, look, these are the promises, this is this is that. But where's the actual tangible physical proof?
Exactly.
you could do that. You can look into a participant in a SNAP program and see the food in the refrigerator as a result.
Yeah.
So I'm not at all saying this program is valuable and crucial to a lot of families.
Definitely.
We were speaking on earlier, like in the early days of the podcast when we first started during the pandemic, and we were saying how a bunch of the parents was relying on sending their kids to school.
Yeah.
Because financially, they was just,
Yeah.
you know, it was beneficial for them.
Yes, it was.
To send their kids to school and not have to, like,
worry
feed
about
them.
breakfast,
Well,
lunch,
come on,
and
let's
dinner.
be honest. Yeah, feed them. You know,
Forget to worry about dinner.
Yeah, for
That's it.
2 meals. They come home and you just got to worry about dinner.
That's it.
You know, that was huge. So now they're saying, what are we going to do? So them understanding the relationship and the dichotomy of how a lot of families worked, particularly ones that was participating in the SNAP program, they compensated by giving more, funds.
Yeah. But then they took them back because
after time. But there was a large portion of the pandemic where they was
just throwing away money. Them $4,000 money things they was giving out them checks.
Giving out a lot.
And now here comes this income tax.
You see, I'm not even talking about the checks.
But that's
I'm
part
talking
of
about just the EBT. Just the EBT.
They gave out what, $300?
It was a lot.
Extra.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot per kid or whatever. Now they want it back.
They want their money back, okay? They gonna get it one way or another. They gonna come for them taxes.
You still struggling? You still struggling?
Okay? They gonna come get them. They gonna call them food stamps and them cards, honey. But no, seriously though, I feel like we as a people need to take the time to sit down and really reevaluate what this program is all about and reevaluate what it can do for us. Because it can do a lot more than just give us food. Because there's a lot of things in this program that I didn't know that you can do to help you with working. They help you with training and schooling. There's other things that help you so you don't have to be on this SNAP program. But a lot of people don't want that. Some people just are okay with just being on SNAP. No, take advantage. They're here, to help. And I've seen it. I've seen proof of it. We just have to take advantage as a people and stop just being so stubborn and, well, it's the city money. I'm going to take it. I'm going to sit on it. I'm going to keep it moving. Like
complacent.
Yeah, it's like.
Because it's like,
it's not good.
It's supposed to be a stepping stone.
Exactly.
A lifeline. But a stepping stone, nonetheless.
Yes.
Something that you don't get stuck on.
Yes.
You take advantage of it and use it as a resource to move beyond.
Yep. You're not looking for something. You're not depending on that every month.
It's like, hey, I don't have to stress mentally and emotionally about feeding myself. So now I can focus on getting a better job. Or
exactly.
Focus on my craft so that I can be better at my job to make more at my job.
Yep.
Get a promotion. That's why the SNAP program exists, and that's using it that way is how you could utilize it the best.
Y'all hear that? Hope y'all listening.
And if we're speaking bluntly, that's the same thing about public housing.
Yes.
Public housing is supposed to be used as a stepping stone. You just have, the way it played out, generational,
yes. Yes.
Inheritance of.
Yes,
of
a place.
Of a place.
Yes.
Where it's supposed to be used as a resource, to build yourself up and move on.
Yes.
And use for the next person.
That's true.
To do the same as a resource to build yourself on and move on. But people got complacent and started using it as a crutch. And then you have this... next generation came up and passed it on to the next one, one. Then you have 2-3 generations and
holding it down.
Yeah, in the public housing.
That's it. But then again, like you said,
so how do we stop the stagnation? That's what I should ask you.
move out.
But look, that's like saying don't eat. Don't eat. Stop
You're
eating.
right.
So yeah, how do I stop becoming so dependent on Snap? Oh, don't leave it. Let it build up on that card, and then just give it to me.
Like, just pass it on over. Like,
give it to somebody hungrier. Me personally, I would say to use it as it's supposed to be used, as a resource. You're in a very particular set of circumstances when you're participating in the EBT program. You have a large portion of your stress, alleviated, so you're able to focus on other things. Similar to when you're living in public housing, you have a large portion of your stress alleviated, so you can focus on other things. Those other things should be used to better you and to increase not only your financial situation, but your mental capacity to move forward. Now, that's completely subjective. That's why I'm glad that we have like opposing opinions on it.
Please tap in, give us comments, please. We want to know how you guys felt about that, because we need to hear your voices. Your voices matter.
Yeah. So how do you feel like, these, like the public assistance programs should be utilized by the participants?
Please, let us know. Let us know how you feel. Please let us know, because he think he know. And me being outside of the public assisted programs and outside of the housing system, and I'm in a tenement building, it's like, again, like I said, I wish I would have listened, and I wish I would have stayed, because it's a struggle. I love my place. I've been there almost 15 years, but it's like, you gotta fight. You know what I mean? As to where, like he said, this is a stepping stone. It was. My home was a stepping stone for me to go on and get my own. But I don't want to, I don't want to dwell on that not going back home to bed, because I'm not. But you guys, seriously, listen to what he's saying, because it's so true. It's true. Again, we are, I have my opinion. He has his, however you feel. I'm an introvert. Yeah, I should have stayed home. I'm sorry that wouldn't have had no kids. No. But no, I'm definitely glad we had that conversation, because I've always wanted to know how other people felt, and, how did you feel in general in the whole aspect, because you are a working man, and you're a chef, and you do your thing. You're an entrepreneur. You make resources and ways for you not to be on that Snap, baby. Okay, and you didn't have to worry about that, and you don't have to worry about that. So coming from a person's point of view who's never been on it, to even though we grew up on it, to a person who's on it, who has been on it, and still a working person, it's different. You have two different views about it. So, guys, please tap in. We want to know how you guys feel. I want to know. Okay? So
definitely participate in this conversation. Let us know your thoughts below. Do you feel like the SNAP programs is a waste of time, or like it's started in a great place but has transitioned into something that just became ineffective? It just lost its way somewhere in the process? Or do you feel like it hasn't lost its way and that it's been a crucial resource for the participants and for the poverty for a long time and to continue in the future? Let us know your thoughts down below.
Yes.
But look, that does it for our first conversation of 2023.
Yes. In here.
Jada, thank you for stopping past.
Yes, I'm glad to have me. So
We're
glad.
definitely going to have you in the studio more.
Yes,
than ever.
I like this vibe right here.
Yeah, and this is definitely, this is definitely 2023.
Yes.
This is season 3.
Yes.
And we're going to do it.
Yes, sir. I see y'all later.
Hopefully, let's